Hey friends, I'm coming to you with another artist tip. So if you've ever had like a painting that you did a long time ago that you're like, oh, I don't like the way that looks, and you've thought to yourself, I wish I would have done it differently. Well, I have good news for you. You can do anything you want. You can repaint it. You can paint completely over it and start over fresh. So this is a painting that was done by somebody else. That is very old, and it has been sitting underneath my bed waiting to be repainted. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So basically what you're going to want to do is you have two options here, and there might be more options, but these are the options that I use. Either I can cover this with gesso and wait for it to dry and start working on it tomorrow, but I kind of want to mess with it today. So something that I do that is probably very frowned upon is I will take some like soapy water and try to like sort of scrub off what the old is, and then blow dry it. And then I will do like a fresh coat of either white or whatever underpainting color I want. Usually I do white because then it kind of frees me up to just kind of sit with it and decide what I'm going to do. White can be intimidating for a lot of painters. I think it is kind of intimidating sometimes, but anyway, that's what you can do. You can take an old painting and you can either gesso over it, so it's a brand new, fresh, like canvas. Words are not happening. Or you can spray it with some soapy water and scrub it, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna pause you for a minute and I'll be right back with some soapy water. Okay, I'm back. So I have got a mug that is full of hot soapy water. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be super hot, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna face you towards the canvas so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now, this is a really old canvas, so this might not work. So you guys might be watching me do an epic fail, but here we go. We're in this together. We're in it together, guys. Let's see what happens. You can kind of use any kind of scrubber. I'm using a Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy. You know what I'm talking about. One of those scrubber things. Anyway. And it looks like there's definitely a little bit of paint coming off. Ooh! Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so those dark purple lines, I'm pretty sure those are markers. Those are not going anywhere. We're gonna have to paint over those. Ooh, it's so loud. You want to make sure you're going different directions. You can do circles, you can do up and down, side to side, but just all different directions because the paint is going to kind of get into the canvas in all different directions, if that makes sense. Okay, I think that's about all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rinse it off and blow dry it, and then I'll be right back. Okay, hold on, please. And we're back. Woo! Okay, so you can see this is the after. Look at that. Lots of the paint is gone. So I'm gonna pull you guys over here. Can you see me? You can. Oh, look at that hair. Let's look at that. So I don't know what I want to paint today, so I'm just gonna put some paint on the canvas and see what happens. I've been a little out of sorts lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed. But I saw this really cool like orchid kind of cluster. I don't even know if it's orchids. I don't know. It's some really cool like electric blue looking like clusters of flowers, and I want to paint that. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is kind of like a greenish, smoky, dark, kind of around this section. I'm going to probably do this like all the way in. Some painters will tell you to kind of like paint around the edges of what you're going to paint. But I don't really like to do that. I feel like that makes it look a little disconnected. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me it does. Maybe it's just a disconnect because I'm the one painting it and I know that there's nothing behind the object in the middle. So typically what I will do is do a whole background and then I will layer on top of that background. Like you could see on all of my paintings, they're very layered. Nothing ever turns out the way it began. And yeah, that's kind of the way I like to do it because it feels, and that's just how it feels. I paint what I feel. So anyway, I really want to paint that orchid scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get together some big brushes. I really like this guy. This guy is fun. Man, I could probably do some murals with this guy. Like, woo! Anyway, okay, we're off topic here. So I'm going to go in with kind of like, let's see, probably this phthalo green. That'll probably be a good start. Because it's kind of got a blue undertones. And this paint is transparent. So I'm going to add something to it to make it a little bit more opaque. Where is the hooker's green? Okay, hold please. Okay, so I know I said I was going in with hooker's green, but what I'm going to do is this permanent green light. This one, it says it is opaque. And do you guys remember we talked about opacity and transparency in paints? If you start with a transparent paint, everything behind it's going to bleed through. So if you want to use that shade, but you don't have the colors to like that are opaque to mix to get to that shade, you can mix it with like an opaque paint and it will be semi-transparent. So it's not going to ever make it fully opaque. It's impossible. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try out mixing the two of these together. I'm going to put some of my trusty dusty paint retarder in there to keep it from drying out really fast because acrylics dry super quick. If you guys are not aware, they dry really fast. What I typically do is I'll have all of my paints like in this little guy right here with the lid, and I'll thin I need to buy some more. I'll hit them with a little bit of the retarder so that way they are very slow drying. Usually you would mix these with a palette knife and there we go. There's one. All right. So you just want to kind of like, I want to keep a little bit of this over to the side because I know I'm going to add some of that in there later as I'm painting today. If I was going to paint later, like tomorrow, I wouldn't even worry about it. But I'm going to mix some of this in together as I want to really get that nice electric looking color. I call it electric. It's kind of like neon, like a dark, it's hard to see on this dirty palette. I probably need to scrape this sucker off, but I don't know, I kind of like it. It's got character. I'm probably getting paint chips from underneath there in all of my paints, but you know what? We live and we learn. So now that I've got that retarder in there to kind of slow down that drying process, I'm going to start adding this opaque paint into the transparent to make it a little bit lighter. See? And I do want to have like a little bit, I think I want to start where it's kind of like a more of a dark color into the green with a little bit of a light to kind of fade out. But I don't know. We're just going to see what happens. We're just going to feel it out. And if I hate it, guess what? I can paint over it because that's like not against the rules. You can literally do whatever you want whenever you're creating art because it is yours. You're the boss. So instead of going in with full-on black, I'm probably going to use this Winsor Blue. I don't know if that was the one I wanted. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? Happy accidents, guys. That's what we're going with. Whoop. Okay. A little bit more of this guy. The ratio, I think it's supposed to be like a 3-to-1 ratio, so that way you don't degrade the paint too much, but I'm not too concerned with that right now. Just because, well, as with most things that I do, I just kind of do what I want. Just do it my way. Okay, so I've got this nice array of blues to greens. I really like that. That's pretty. Look at that, guys. Ooh, pretty colors. Let's see if we can get that glare off of it. Yeah, it's never gonna happen. The glare's just there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off right here in the middle of the canvas. And what I like to do is I like to just get a nice little base coat, and I'm gonna kind of blend everything out, but I'm gonna start this blue color right here in the middle. I think that might be a transparent paint too. So we might have to, yeah, that's not the one I was looking for. So that's okay. Our flowers are gonna go here, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that. So we'll start like this, and we're gonna work over into that other like bluish green color. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. And you don't want it to be too perfect because you're not trying to make a freaking circle right here, you know? You're just trying to make a nice little background for what you're going to be layering on top of it. And obviously the forest is lots of green, right? We already know there's lots of green in the forest, y'all. So, this is kind of the direction we're going here. I'm gonna like layer a little bit more of that. Blending, and we're blending, and we're blending. But you don't want it to be too blended. I mean, you can. I don't like it to be too blended. I like it to look a little crazy. A little blending there. Yeah. A little, I don't know. Just kind of let it do its own thing. And I do like to go ahead and paint the edges most of the time as I'm doing this, because golly, it's rough to try to paint the edges later on. You got to mix the colors, and then you don't remember which colors you put where, and so it's kind of a hot mess. I do not recommend. I'm going to add some of this around right here. And I know this painting is sitting on this edge, but we're going to go ahead and add some of that paint to that edge too, down at the bottom. Because you want it to flow together, man. You don't want it to look like disconnected. Like it's all just random or something, you know? And then we're going to add a little bit more of the dark back into this corner down there. I kind of like that. That looks cool. I also like that there's still some of the residual of the old painting left behind. I kind of like it. Call me crazy. Where's the store-bought pesto girl when you need her, huh? Okay. I really want to shove that paint into the canvas. I'm gonna need a little bit more of all the colors. No, we don't want ultramarine. Where did you go? Okay. This is going a little faster than I thought it would, so I'm just not even, I'm going to skip the retarder. It's not even any need for that, really. Where is the blue I was using? Where did you go? Okay, well, looks like we're going with this. Yeah, I like it. It's very pretty. Oh, by the way, I'm like a super messy painter. Yeah, there's no perfection in my way of painting. We just go with the flow, y'all. I paint for my mental health. So, makes me feel good. And it gives me some sort of control, but like in a free range chicken kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You probably don't know what I'm saying, but I said it, so there you go. All right, now I'm gonna mix a little bit of this color right there because we got some of that on the edge, and boom! I need more blue. Where did I put that color? Ugh. Oh, here we go. Found it! Yeah, see, it's transparent. You can't really see it very good, but you see how that whole square is just, oops. That would be a solid black square if it was opaque. It's transparent. And we're just gonna go in and I don't mind that my colors are kind of bleeding into each other. Like I said, I like it like that. It's kind of the way I go. So I'm gonna mix it in right there. That looks good. We're gonna start kind of layering on top of that green. I got way too much of that blue over there. I don't know what happened there. I got a little bit of water. Thin this out a little bit. Oh yeah, much better. I want like a real bluish color right there. You know what, I might leave some of these weird lines that that were underneath on there, just to give it a little character. I like to do that sometimes too. Just add something a little unexpected, you know? Okay, so there we go. That's what she looks like now. Oh, I'm gonna add some more over here. I keep saying there we go like I'm done. I'm not done. Let's see. A little bit more water because it's getting real dried out real fast because I didn't add the retarder in this portion of the paint, guys. So there's the lesson. It dries really, really fast. I think I want some more of that blue, like right up in this area. I just have to add some more. Okay, now come back in with some of these real vibrant greens. I just want the lines to be kind of smeary, so they look a little. I probably just rubbed paint all on my nose. Nope. You guys know you wanted to see right up at my nose, didn't you? Okay. Okay. Ooh. Let's get you off of there, buddy. So, this looks a little too perfect right there. I don't like that. All right. So that's what we got so far. This is our background, and as you can see, a lot of the, I want to put a little bit more paints on these edges here. I'll probably fine tune the edges a little bit later as I go, but you don't want it to look too perfect, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, there it is for now. This is our progress on our painting. Maybe if I turn this light off, you might be able to see with less of a glare. Oh yeah, there you go. It's real pretty background. Anyway, there she is. That's what we're working with this morning, guys. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry this so I can keep going. Okay, so I am not very skilled at painting flowers, but I want to get better at painting flowers. I actually do paint quite a few flowers, but I always hate them. So I like to look at like real life flowers. As you can see, this is not someone's painting, this isn't someone's drawing or clip art or any of that kind of stuff. Now I will like draw inspiration from different styles, like for instance, I really like this cluster of flowers. And I'm thinking I'm probably gonna do something like this. Maybe like this section right there, you know? I think that would look really good in there. And then what I'm gonna do is, as you can see, it's naturally got like some pinks and some like neon colors inside the flowers. I'm gonna go ahead and add those also. But what I really like to do on most of my paintings is I like to have drips. So I'm gonna kind of have this flowery cluster going around. And you guys get to watch me like really, really, really unskillfully paint these flowers, because I am like, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I take a screenshot on this thing? Is it, you know what? We're just gonna hope it doesn't move. Yeah. So what I would typically do at this point is I would either, one of two things, and also I did not dry my canvas. I just didn't. I warmed up my tea, which I need to go grab. Hold on. What I would typically do at this point is I would either start sketching whatever it is on this. I'm very intimidated by these flowers, as you can see. They all just look like very nice little petals. So I might try to just do all of the one shade of blue with random like petals everywhere. That's probably the way to do it. See, I told you guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all are learning right along with me. I've seen other painters, they'll just paint like each individual petal. Like, get a brush that is, you know, about the size of the petal you're wanting to paint, and just paint. Like, I almost feel like I need to practice a little bit. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna practice on a piece of paper, or maybe just actually right here on my easel, and just see which brush is going to give me the flower shape that I want, the petal shape that I want. And then what I've heard to do is the best is, and I never do this, this is why my paintings take forever, because I get stuck on one thing and I just keep doing it. But what I've heard to do is the best is to take all of like the dark, start with your base color and do that all the way around, whatever that color is. Then move on to your next color and add that in as you go. And that's like a really good way of layering. And it'll also kind of get me, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Are you guys ready to watch me mess this up? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do a great job, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna come back because you're gonna be like, dang, I'm glad she figured out this messiness before I did. Now I know what to do, because then we're gonna learn how to do it together. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a big chug of coffee. Actually, it's like a blend of like coffee and green tea. Okay, so I'm thinking that brush I had grabbed was a little too stiff and the bristles are not long enough. This is one of my favorite brushes, by the way. This is a Filbert brush. It's kind of flat, but actually you can see I've used it quite a bit, so it's real frayed. I need new brushes, guys. But you know, we poor, so we don't do that. We don't do that. We got bills to pay and food to purchase. Yeah, I'm gonna use ultramarine blue. Golly, that thing was on there, because that's a real vibrant blue. I might add some turquoise in with it. I'm really digging that turquoise color lately. But first and foremost, what we're going to do is I'm gonna put a little dab of paint right there. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of water to my brush, and oh my goodness, not that water, look at that color. Look at that water. It's green. Okay, yeah, hold on, I gotta clean this water out. We're back. Okay, obviously I need to brush the coating on the, what is this part? Oh, whatever, not the bristles. The coating on the handle is coming off. Okay, I'm gonna try to paint this shape right here. Let's see how we do. I feel like maybe we go in, out, and then in, out, and then in, out, and then in. I think that looks about right, maybe? Or maybe go out, in, then out, in to out. No, It's definitely out to in. Let's try it again a couple more times. I don't like the way that turned out. I feel like that looks pretty good. And how many petals do these things have? Looks like 3. Okay. We're gonna go out and in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, guys, that looks so cute. Okay, you want to see? I'll zoom you in. Wait, can you see it? I can't tell. Is that? Look at that. Looks good. I hope you guys can see it. Anyway, I had to wash my nose off because I did have blue paint on my nose. This is the scary part. Why is this so scary? I don't know. Because I love the background and I don't want to mess it up. But here we go. I like this color, but I kind of feel like it needs a little white. It's a little too dark. Do I like it? I don't know. Maybe we'll add some of this. That might help. Okay, we're gonna mix together and see how it comes out. I don't like that either. I feel like that took away the whole like electric. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're just gonna go with the real dark blue. You know why? Because it's our painting and we do what we want. We do whatever we want. Okay. Now, I need to get, we're gonna just use the lid. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. Ultramarine blue is semi-transparent, which is exactly what I want because I want it to be kind of a little see-through because I like the background to come in. You know what? I gotta go dry this. Uno moment. Okay, so I dried the background of this. This is completely dry, totally dry to touch. There's maybe a little stickiness down there, but nothing's coming off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna start creating some flower shapes. And I like to thin out a little bit with some water. Probably put this over here. Let's see. Yeah, and I'm probably going to be going a lot slower when I'm putting these flowers on here because I'm scared. Probably going to just do like, I'm just going to go for it. Here we go. I want a pretty good size petal right there. Bring it in. Probably fatten this guy up a little bit. Well, there's our first one. You probably can't even see it. Let's see. It's very dark. That's okay though, because we're going to add stuff later that's going to brighten it right up. Okay. I think I want to make this just a little bit more, a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like that size. That's good. And some of them have 3 petals, some of them have 4 petals. So this is going to be very slow going because I don't want to do too much, but I also don't want to do too little. I did not mean to do that. It's okay, we'll fix that later. There's gonna be lots of layers to these flowers, so don't get too hung up on the ones that you dislike. We're just trying to get that first layer of petals pulled in. And you want to have lots of flowers coming into your painting. Not just like a couple, you know? And different sizes. Some of them are going to be pretty good size. Some of them are a little smaller. And, you know, try not to think too far ahead when you're painting because it's really easy to get stuck in your head and be like, oh no, I didn't like that. But honestly, as you go along, you'll see that things are just kind of ever evolving when you're painting. And some of them are going different directions, and they got these little clusters, if you can see, these little clusters in here. Kind of reminds me of like fragrant sumac or like poison ivy. So we want flowers coming from all different directions. And I am having a wee bit of a struggle with that. They all seem to be coming from pretty much the same way. Let's see. Like all facing, you know? Anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a painting. If you hate it, you can change it. That's just the way it is. And I'm also going to do some of these leaves in here later on too. But I do want to add some more paint. Because earlier, I don't know if you guys saw it, probably not. I think the camera was off. My rag slid down right into my paint and wiped out about half of it. So I was like, oh no. Okay, so I kind of like want to put another, like a real in your face one, like right there. And it feels kind of tricky to do the petals as you're doing them, but you know, again, nothing needs to be totally perfect. Nothing's set in stone at this point. This is just the first base layer of what you're doing, and there's always room to do more later. You know, so don't get too carried away in like the shape of your flowers or the direction that they're facing. All of the stuff I was talking about, it's not completely relevant at this stage, but as we go along, you're going to want to be a little more sure of the way that you're going to orient things, because you want it to make sense. And as you add highlights, that's what's going to help you really determine which direction things are going. So a lot of people think that painters just slap some paint on there and then bing, bang, boom, they have this masterpiece. And, you know, some painters, they can do it like that. But most people, this is the way it goes. There's a lot of, just a lot of layers. Nothing is just like instantaneously exactly what the end product looks like. It's always a process. So this is the fun part of painting, is kind of getting out of your own way, getting out of your head. And I really, really like that little cluster right there. So I feel like I've got a lot of petals that are kind of like overlapping each other. And we got like a lot of little petals happening everywhere. So I'm going to work on that. But these are a little more spaced out with those little clusters up in there. And I think some more petals over here too, but right now I'm working on this guy. So we're gonna add, oops, it's a little too much paint. A pointier petal. Okay, well that didn't quite turn out as pointy as I wanted it, but whatever. We're just gonna keep adding petals because we've got flowers on flowers on flowers everywhere in here, and they are all different directions. Let's see, probably a couple up here like this. So this is a little cluster down here. I really feel like you guys are not seeing the full scope of the painting. Maybe I can just lay down like that. Can you see better? My leg's in the way, sorry guys. Okay, and it's really, I'm starting off with some really dark, dark paint. And it doesn't really, you can't really tell what I'm doing yet, but just wait, it'll start to come about and you'll be like, wow, that is so cool. You'll see. But this is the process. This is the part that feels the nicest to me, but also kind of scary. Because we're just starting. We're just starting. We don't know where it's gonna go. Some of these petals are really big because it's a lot closer to your face. And I think I want it to be really facing the viewer, not 100% hidden from peeps or weird different angles. But there is a lot of petals here, guys. This is a very intimidating painting to me. But it's going to be really cool when it's done. I can already see what I'm going to do. I'm excited. I've been wanting to paint more flowers, but they're just so natural in their own natural beauty. It's really hard to imagine elevating it in any kind of way that's going to bring you as much beauty as you see just looking at it. You know what I mean? I love nature. Nature is my favorite thing. And it is freezing cold outside today, but this afternoon I'm going outside because the sun is out and it's going to be a beautiful day to go for a nature walk, and I'm stoked. My new job, I'm inside all day and it is making me crazy. Okay, so I like the way we're moving here. I think I'm going to do this little bundle of flowers down here. This one kind of, I need more paint. Where did it go? There we go. This little, bundle of paint down here, or bundle of flowers down here. I kind of like this one. It looks really like a real wide base and a real wide top. And then it has a couple of like adjoining petals that come over this way and pull into the middle of it. And again, this looks very, very messy. But as it goes along, it's going to make more sense. You guys will see. You'll love it. You'll be like, dang, if she could paint flowers, I could paint flowers because these look brutal. Oh, like the way that brush stroke went. There we go. And you got to remember that as a painting comes along, things will somewhat change. I just want to get like the majority of the little petals in here. And there's a lot of petals that just kind of come out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere. So we're just going to start adding those in and not be too particular about where they're going, where they're leading to. We just want more petals because this is a very clustery kind of flower. It's very pretty. And we're going to have some of that little lumpy stuff, whatever that even is. I don't even know what that is. Just kind of all over the place, coming in. So that's something to remember. It's kind of an ever-evolving thing, but you want to have some sort of direction, like little flowers in the background. A couple little more petals over here. Well, especially with these like cluster flowers, like hydrangeas. I think that's what these are called, is hydrangeas, right? Yeah. They're gonna have a lot of little random petals coming around. Lots of little random flowers everywhere. And this area definitely has a whole lot more little petals everywhere in it. And I don't know who took this picture or what this picture even is of, but you should always give credit where credit is due. And if you're going to paint something that somebody else already has painted or whatever, you should definitely not make it exactly like the person's painting. You're stealing someone else's art. Like, don't do that. Don't be that guy. You know, you can have your own take on things. I like to draw just directly from nature, so I don't run the risk of doing someone else's stuff. I have done stuff that's a little derivative before, but that's not uncommon in the art world. People draw inspiration from each other. It's just the way it goes, you know? Okay, I think that is it for today, guys. I know it looks like not much, but here is the beginning of our painting. And yeah,